You understand 99% of English videos. But when your neighbor walks by, you'd rather cross the street than say hello. Today, we're talking about the fear of being heard. Not grammar, not vocabulary. That quiet voice in your head that says, not yet, not good enough. Stay with us. Welcome to the English Corner, your daily dose of effortless English. I'm Tina.
And I'm Leo.
Today, we're going somewhere a little scary. We're talking about the fear of speaking out loud.
I know this fear very well. I live with it. It follows me like a shadow.
Leo is going to tell us a story, a true story about a thin wall, a rubber duck, and a neighbor asking for sugar.
Oh no. Do I have to?
Yes, but first I want to say this. If you've ever stayed silent because your accent felt wrong, you're in the right place.
If you've ever pretended not to understand English to avoid speaking, welcome.
That's exactly what we're unpacking today. Leo, tell us about that afternoon, the sugar incident.
So, I live in a very old apartment. The walls are thin. Like, really thin. I can hear my neighbor's TV. She can hear my sneezes. It's that thin.
And you were practicing English?
Yes, but only when I was sure nobody was home. I have this little audience, a collection of rubber ducks. I line them up on my desk. They don't judge my accent. They just sit there.
So you talk to rubber ducks?
Hey, they're great listeners. But that day, I was reading a monologue from a movie. I was really into it. Loud whispers, you know? Then, a knock on the door. My neighbor, Mrs. Chen. She needed sugar. And she said, "By the way, your English sounds really good." I froze. She heard me. Through the wall. I wanted to disappear.
But she complimented you. Why did you feel embarrassed?
Because being heard meant I was seen. Seen trying. And trying feels like failing when you're not perfect.
That's such a common feeling. We treat being heard like a crime. But here's a reframe that stopped me cold. Being overheard is proof your English exists outside your head. It's not a crime. It's evidence.
Wait, say that again? Proof it exists outside my head?
Yes. The moment your voice leaves your mouth, you're not just a student. You're a speaker.
Even if it's messy?
Especially if it's messy. Messy means you're in the arena.
I never thought of it like that. I always thought being heard was proof I wasn't ready.
And that's the lie we're going to break today. So, let's talk about a tiny first step. Start with a whisper, not to a rubber duck, to yourself. Pick one sentence, something true. For example, I am learning to let my voice out. Say it right now, just in your mind. Now whisper it. Go on, nobody's listening.
I am learning to let my voice out. That actually feels different.
You just used your voice. That's a speaking practice. It counts.
But it's just a whisper. Is that really speaking?
Yes, it's training. Your vocal cords moved. Your brain heard you. That's the start. Try it every morning for 1 minute. Pick a time, like right after you brush your teeth. A tiny anchored habit. Let's take the next step, from whisper to quiet voice. Say the same sentence again, but a little louder. Just loud enough to hear your own sound.
I am learning to let my voice out. That was strange. My heart is a little fast.
That heartbeat is not failure. That's your courage waking up. Courage is doing something even when it scares you.
So courage is a muscle?
Yes, you just gave it one small workout.
Even my ducks seemed to listen more when I used my real voice.
That's the spirit.
But Tina, what if I whisper and still feel scared? What if someone laughs when I speak louder?
That's the real fear, right? Not the sound, but the judgment.
Yes. I'm scared my accent sounds silly. or that I'll forget words.
Leo, remember the thin wall. Your fear is like that wall. It feels solid, but sound gets through. Bravery gets through. The fear is just an old belief. It doesn't stop your voice.
But what if they really do laugh?
Then you just met someone unkind. That's about them, not your English. But most people won't laugh. Most people are like Mrs. Chen. They'll be impressed you're trying. And even if one person is mean, your voice still matters. Don't let a rare reaction build your wall.
What if I forget a word mid-sentence? That happens all the time.
That's okay. If you forget a word, use other words. For example, instead of refrigerator, say the cold box. People will understand. The goal is communication, not perfection.
So I can just explain around the missing word?
Exactly. That's a skill too. It's called circumlocution. It means talking around a word you don't know.
Circumlocution. That's a big word.
We'll save that for another episode. The point is, you can keep going even if you forget.
My wall. My thin imaginary wall.
Exactly.
Okay, but yesterday, I had a different wall. I planned to practice speaking for 15 minutes. Really. But I thought, first, I'll watch a video on fixing my accent. I opened YouTube. I found a video called How to Sound Like a Native in 10 Minutes. I clicked.
And did it help?
No, the video ended and another one started. It was about a dog who learned to skateboard. I watched 23 minutes of that. A pug on a skateboard. He was very talented, but he didn't help my English.
The distraction spiral. You wanted to improve, but your brain chose comfort. That's not laziness. That's your brain protecting you from discomfort. Speaking is uncomfortable, so you watched a dog. We've all been there.
I felt so guilty after. I wasted my practice time.
But guilt doesn't help. Let's change the story. Here's an emotional truth I want you to carry. Your voice doesn't need to be flawless to be worth hearing. Even a whisper from a learner can be brave. You speaking is you showing up. That's enough.
That actually makes me feel lighter. Like I don't have to be perfect before I start.
You don't. And to help you prove that, here's a small challenge. Today, record a 5-second voice note. Just one sentence. Anything. Send it to yourself. Or, if you're brave, send it to a friend. This isn't about quality. It's about proof.
Proof that I used my voice?
Exactly. A tiny piece of evidence. Because every time you speak, you're not making noise. You're leaving a trail that says, I'm learning. That takes heart.
I'm learning. I like that. It's like a breadcrumb for my future self.
Yes. And that trail is the return line we keep coming back to. Not perfection, but persistence. Welcome to Word Corner, where we argue about words so you remember them better.
I'm ready. But first, can we talk about my ducks?
Later. Let's start with whisper. You whispered to your ducks. Is whispering speaking?
I say no. It's too quiet. It doesn't count.
I disagree. Whispering moves the same muscles. It's a gentle start. It counts as practice.
Fine. But if someone hears your whisper, is that overheard or just rude?
Overheard is when someone catches your words without meaning to. Like Mrs. Chen heard you through the wall. She overheard you, and her reaction changed your day.
She gave me a compliment, but I felt exposed.
That's because you connected being overheard with failure. But overheard is neutral. It just means your voice traveled.
My voice traveled through my thin wall. That wall again.
Exactly. Now, accent. You worry about your accent. An accent is just the melody your first language gives your second. It's not a mistake. It's a fingerprint.
A fingerprint?
Yes, it's unique to you. It shows where you're from. That's not bad.
But I want to sound clear.
Clear is about practice, not about losing your accent. Confidence is different. Confidence is walking through the fear. It doesn't mean the fear is gone. It means you speak anyway.
Like when I whispered, even though I was scared.
Yes, that was confidence. Tiny confidence. And practice is doing it over and over. Practice is the action. It changes the brain.
So my voice is the actual sound?
Yes, your voice is the instrument. It's already there. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be used.
So voice is the tool and practice is using it?
Exactly. Now, let's add courage. We talked about it earlier. Courage means facing something scary. Is whispering a courageous act?
I think yes. I was scared to even whisper, so doing it was courage.
I agree. Small courage leads to bigger courage, so practice builds courage.
And courage builds voice.
Now you're getting it. Let's soften our inner voice with Say It Better. We have 4 pairs today. First pair, harsh version. My accent sounds terrible. Better version. My accent tells my story. It's still becoming clear.
That's less painful, less like an attack.
Second pair, harsh version. I froze and felt so embarrassed. Better version. I froze, but I showed up. That takes something.
I like this. It doesn't erase the freeze, just changes the meaning.
Third pair, harsh version. I wasted 23 minutes on a skateboarding dog. Better version. I got pulled into a distraction. Now I know that trick, and I can choose again.
Yes, I'm not a failure. I'm just learning my patterns.
Fourth pair, harsh version. I whispered to a rubber duck. That's not real practice. Better version. I whispered to build my courage. Every word was real.
That feels kinder and more true.
So remember, the words you say to yourself matter most. They become your wall or your door. We hope today's episode helped you feel less alone. That voice that says, "Not yet," is lying. You're ready now. Before you go, we have one question. What's the silliest thing you've done to avoid speaking English? Tell us in the comments. No judgment, just high fives.
I'll start. I once pretended to sleep on a bus so nobody would ask me a question. My stop came and I jumped up too fast. Everyone knew I was awake.
That's hilarious. Share your stories below. And remember, every time you speak, you're leaving a trail. That trail says, "I'm learning." It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. I'm Tina.
I'm Leo.
This is the English Corner. See you next time.
Keep whispering to your ducks. Or just to yourself. It all counts.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.